like to call this meeting to order. First off, let's start by saying that this meeting is being televised on Spectrum and Greenlight Channel 22, live streamed through the Wilson County Schools YouTube channel. The public can also view the meeting by downloading the Wilson County Schools 22 app and through links on the district's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages and the website. Dr. Fitch will be participating remotely today, so all of our votes will be taken by roll call. So do I hear a motion on the agenda?
Yes, I move that we approve the agenda for the November 10th, 2025 Wilson County School Board of Education meeting.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Ms. Powell, seconded by Ms. Boyette, that we approve the agenda for November 10th, 2025. Start with Mr. Kyle. Please, I'm sorry. It's got me thrown off. Is there any discussion? Please let us know by the sign of yay or nay, Mr. Kyle.
Yay.
Ms. Powell.
Yay.
Ms. Boyette.
Yay.
Myself, yay. Mr. Breen.
Yay.
Dr. Fitch.
Yay.
Mr. Batts.
Yay.
All right, motion carries unanimously. All right, Mr. Batts is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
All right. Board members, you have the minutes sitting in front of you. Please review them, and if the appropriate time, I'll entertain a motion on them.
Mr. Chair,
Mrs. Boyette.
I move that we approve the minutes of October the 20th, our regular Board of Education meeting, and October the 27th, our special Board of Education meeting.
Second.
All right. Motion has been made by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell and Mr. Batts, that we approve the October 20th, 2025 minutes from our regular scheduled meeting and our special meeting from October 27th, 2025. Is there any discussion? Mr. Kyle?
Yay.
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 Myself, yay. Mr. Breen?
Yay.
Dr. Fitch?
Yay.
Mr. Batts?
Yay.
So motion carries unanimously. All right. It is now time for our good news presentation. Mr. Batts, if you would join Dr. Mills.
Board members, audience members, tonight I'd like to recognize the 2025 North Carolina Governor's School participants. And we have 7 seniors who attended the Governor's School during the summer. And if you would please come forward and I call your name. Juliana Ugalde Carvajal from Bettyfield High. Juliana. C. Bonner from Fike High School. Emery Skinner from Fike High School. Kevin Escobedo Rosas from Fike High School. Cameron Wiggs from Fike High School. Elva Lynn from Hunt High School. And Bree Wilson from Wilson Early College Academy. Is it Bria or Bree? Bria, 50-50. Sorry, knew it when I said it. Sorry, Bria. Well, let me tell you about these folks that represented us at North Carolina's Governor's School. This is a 4-week residential program which is offered by the Department of Public Instruction. It integrates academic disciplines, the arts, and unique courses designed to foster creativity and curiosity. Students specialize in one of 8 areas, such as English, science, or visual arts, while also taking interdisciplinary classes in conceptual and social development. During the program, they explore cutting-edge ideas and emerging concepts within their field of study. Admission is highly competitive, and these students earn their place through dedication, passion, and excellence. North Carolina Governor's School is the oldest statewide program of its kind in the nation, so we're very proud to congratulate these outstanding students and look forward to seeing how they continue to grow, lead, and make a difference in the future. Congratulations. It is indeed an honor, and thank you for representing us and all that you do back for your schools. Now it's picture time. You can't run just yet. So mom, dad, grandparents, everybody else, it's time for pictures, and then Amber has to get pictures. Better get used to it. Oh, man, yeah, that came loaded today. All right, last chance. Miss Hayes? All right. Mr. Dahl, see, you're almost home. It's not my fault. Yay! Congratulations. Good job. Congrats. I'll take care of you. Crowd.
All right, so next up, we have the chairman's report. I'm gonna be fairly brief, as our last scheduled meeting was fairly close to this one. But I'd like to start by thanking Wilson Educational Partnership for all they do for our district. This past month, WEP gave out 30 mini grants to our teachers totaling $20,000. Robin Williams and Sherry Jernigan do such a great job with WEP altogether, and we're very thankful for them. We have the North Carolina School Board Conference happening this week in Greensboro. Ms. Boyette, Ms. Powell, and Dr. Fitch will be representing the board, so a big thank you to y'all for going and representing on our behalf. I'd like to thank the staff who volunteered to help man the booth at the Whirligig Festival. It was a great success. We'd also like to wish a happy birthday to the Marine Corps. It's their 250th, and we're lucky enough to have Dr. Williams with us, who served our country in the Marines. So thank you for your service. And finally, we had the rededication ribbon cutting ceremony at Springfield last Friday. From our board, Mr. Bream, Ms. Powell, Dr. Fitch, and Ms. Boyette and myself were in attendance. It was very well planned by Ms. Amber Lynch and Aslan Ramirez. We have many of our community leaders there, and it's a testament to what our community can do and how it can pull together when we need to. So with that being said, I am going to pass it over to Dr. Mills for his superintendent comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would piggyback on a couple things that Mr. Boykin was sharing about the WP mini grants. Since 2015, WP has provided more than $100,000 in mini grants alone, so we appreciate their support very much. As Chairman Boykin was saying, this past Friday, we held the rededication and ribbon cutting ceremony for Springfield. If you all remember, the EF3 tornado that destroyed the 6th and 7th grade wings was in August 8th, 2024. I remember it very well. I've never seen anything like it, and I hope we never do again. It affected people's lives. We lost lives throughout our community, more so than just buildings, and almost everyone we know has been affected in some way in our community. But this project was completed months ahead of schedule, and it's a true testament to the power of collaboration and partnerships, and I talked about that at the service that we had to open the wings back up. I would like to call out some folks that were there: Barnhill Contracting, Oakley Collier Architects, Builder Services of North Carolina. Those are the folks that were there early that morning and answered the phone and actually called me as well about 3:30 in the morning to help save the building. Our own facility services team and the Springfield administration, staff, students, and families. I cannot say enough about the entire community out there. Ms. Thomas's leadership and support was amazing. The families and students and staff that made it work out there, because we did not have another option. I didn't bring another option except that we were going to open school in 10 days. And luckily they were able to do that, because I did not see doing remote and did not see moving our kids around. And so my hats are off to all the families and the students and the staff that made that a viable option for us, and they should be commended. And I said, if bad things happen to good people and it had to happen somewhere, I'm glad it happened somewhere where people care. And they did care there for our students and staff and families in Springfield. So that was an amazing event. We had about 60 people there, and it was nice to cut the ribbon, and the plaque will be placed later inside the school with all those people aforementioned, as well as others. We also have celebration of Thanksgiving later this month, and want to wish everyone a safe and relaxing holiday. And Mr. Chair, if you allow me a moment of personal privilege, I would like to share one bit of information. I would like to take a moment of personal privilege and officially announce my intent to retire as superintendent of Wilson County Schools in the spring semester of 2025. I've shared my intent with the 26, yeah, not too late.
She was adding.
26. Yeah, too late for that. Yeah, 27, 28, do I hear? I shared my intent with the principals and some assorted central office staff leadership this afternoon, and I want to thank the board for honoring my wishes to keep my decision confidential to allow for our celebration results and other milestones this fall. That meant a lot to me. They've been kind, and while supportive, they did not wish for me to leave, but that time has now come for me and my family. I'm leaving on my own terms for my own personal reasons, and it's not a decision I've made lightly or quickly. I have a contract through 2028, and the board is completely supportive of me staying, and it's made it clear they would be happy if I delayed this decision for as long as I would like, and I wish to thank them for their confidence in my leadership and support. I've served as superintendent for over 13 years, with 9 years in the chair here, and upon my retirement, I will have served over 14 years as superintendent. I've been truly fortunate to have a supporting and trusting board that provided for stability and leadership to do the work that was required to bring about change in our district. I'm lucky to have been able to work with them, and our relationship has been one built upon trust, mutual respect, and working together, and I'm blessed to have served as their superintendent. I've also been fortunate to have the best team of people helping me, especially my senior staff. I would not nor could not have been successful here without their hard work, brains, and support. They are my family. Great principals make the role of superintendent better, and ours have definitely made my role better through their caring and hard work. I see some at the back. I consider them to be my extended family as well, and I've tried to support them in ways you see and don't see every day, so that they can focus on what matters most, which are our students and staff in the schools, and I'm proud of them. A part of me wants to run and hide from this decision and never stop. But I know there's more to do, and I have tried to make Wilson County Schools the best system in the state and beyond every day. I think we should be proud of what we've accomplished in the last 9 years, from being one of 10 low-performing school districts with a ranking of 90 out of 115 at my arrival in 2016 to now 34 out of 115 in 2025. That's 2025, I got that right. And are now only 2.5 percentage points away from being in the top 20 districts in the state. Our current level of performance is a far cry from 2016 upon my arrival, And we have what is likely the largest increase in proficiency over a 9-year period of any school system in the state. That's about 9%. So we have much to celebrate. We've been through an uncharted pandemic, school closings and construction, several curriculum and accountability changes, probably more than I care to think about, and other changes that no one would have believed to be a part of school as we know it. Financially, we are solid, and our audit that will be presented tonight will denote that. And it is especially poignant at a time when many school systems across the state face serious financial difficulties. All the while, we've improved and been successful and stayed true to our beliefs. I've worked hard to ensure that the system does not rely on me to function and that everyone knows how everything works. No organization should revolve around one person, and ours does not. This process has been by design. I believe the district is poised for continued success, and I know the next phase of growth for the system starts from a solid, successful foundation with a group of leaders that care about students, staff, and families and each other. And that outcome has been my goal all along, and I believe it's been achieved. Thank you for allowing me to be your superintendent and serve all students, staff, and families of Wilson County Schools. It has truly been my honor, and I love you all. Thank you.
All right. So before we go any further with our meeting, we're gonna give everybody a chance to speak to Dr. Mills.
I'd prefer you to
And-
continue with the meeting.
Well, that's not happening. So I'll start, and Dr. Mills, you're like a brother to me. I mean, this entire board loves you,
Thank you.
and I think everybody in this community knows what you've done for the students and staff of Wilson County Schools. And you've been in the trenches a lot of times. I mean, between COVID and, I mean, just everything. And you've held your head up. You've helped create culture within our district. And for that, I'm truly thankful. And we love you.
Thank you.
Any other board members, if you'd like to speak, I'll be happy to recognize you.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Brown.
So the first time I met Dr. Mills, I was probably 9 or 10 years old. Just being a dumb little kid running across his front yard on my way home from one of his neighbors' houses.
It's true.
And they told me before I ran across his yard, you better watch out for him, he's a superintendent. It was scary. But the one time we actually spoke when I was a kid, he was exceptionally kind and wasn't scary at all, and he didn't know my last name, so it was impossible for him to get me in trouble at school. And now being, mostly a grown-up and getting to function and learn and watch him work, watch him develop the team he has developed. We have gone through a period of extraordinary growth and static. And the amount of humility that with which he has served during his tenure has been amazing. It's never I, me, my. It's always us, we, they. And that speaks tremendous volumes about him and his character. And this is probably the most unprecedented time in the history of the public school system. If not, since desegregation, it's certainly on up there between COVID and the rampant attacks that the public schools have faced from outside sources. And he has done it all with ulcers and grace, providing leadership, making sure that the funds we received from the federal government that had an expiration date, that we didn't spend them haphazardly. He always approached every major decision with wisdom. And I know that I am greatly appreciative of him walking me through things that I didn't quite understand. I'm appreciative of his friendship, and I look forward to seeing you in non-school board related contexts in the future.
Thank you.
All right, board members,
Mr. Chair.
Ms. Boyette.
Dr. Mills, I've known you in a multiple roles. When I was a principal, Dr. Mills was my supervisor. So we switched places here. And he would never fail to come and see me when I was doing some outlandish something. He's seen me in every costume.
Snow Princess.
Known to man. What you have done here as superintendent is nothing short of transformational. It's amazing. I was working at Department of Public Instruction with low-performing schools and saw how Wilson County was falling and in danger of being taken over. And you came in and, like you said, from 90s up to almost top 25. And you've done that because you understand your psychology background, how children learn and where they learn. And it's in classrooms with good teachers and principals in good schools. You know how to use data, and I love that, and you taught me. And what you didn't know, you knew how to bring in the experts. And although there are many contributors, he brought in Dr. Wilson with the hands-on experience in schools. She had been there and she had done it, and he gave her the leeway to transform. He brought in Dr. Williams, who has experience in schools, teaching and as principals, and has done so many good things, along with all the others. And you kept the people that were here in the classrooms and in the principalships by making them feel like they were appreciated and part of a family. It truly was a family atmosphere. Whenever recruiting, you were always a good recruiter, and when teachers were so hard to find, you let us try new things, like Dr. Wilson came up with the advanced teaching roles, and you were not afraid to branch out and try new things. And our openings that are few in Wilson County are a reflection of some of the new things that we've done. The family atmosphere is the main thing, I think, that makes us so appreciative of you. And we never had, you were like a daddy in some, we don't have to worry about the money. We knew that you had the money under control. So, and hearing the accountant, that has held true. So we are very grateful, very thankful for everything you've done, your service to our school system, and wish you many, many, many years of happiness right here in Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair?
Ms. Powell?
Well, the one thing, Dr. Mills, I'm going to miss about you is your humor, your sense of humor. I love it. And when you call me Deborah Powell instead of
Yeah.
Deborah Powell because of someone called
The
me
School
that.
Board Association called you Deborah.
Yes, Deborah Powell. I'll always remember that. But you're unique, you're one of a kind. We will not have a superintendent like you, you know, and all that you've achieved has been fantastic. I mean, it has been an honor to be here, to work with you, and to be a part of your fantastic team that you organized. And you're well-known here in Wilson County, you know, because I can say Dr. Mills, yes, wasn't he a psychologist back in the day? And I said, yes, he was. He worked for Wilson County Schools. And I really appreciate you. And the one thing I wanted to say is that you impacted students and educators in our district in many, many ways. Thank you for your leadership, your long days, your long nights, your perseverance, your love, your understanding, your kindness, your laughter. Thank you for all of that for Wilson County Schools. I commend you, and I do congratulate you on your retirement, even though we really didn't want you to retire this soon, but it was your decision, and you had to do what was laid upon your heart to do, because when you know it's time, you know it's time. You know, even though we can all convince you and give you all the gifts and wealth that you want, but when you know you're ready, you know, we have to understand that and move on. But we also want to miss you. We're going to miss you and want to give you many, many, many blessings. We ask God to keep you. We want you to live and be healthy, take care of yourself, have relaxation, and know that we are still here. If you ever want to come back and work, we will definitely open our door and let you come back, whatever you want to do. Just want to come in and sit in the audience. We'll be glad to have you that way. Just a thought, just a thought.
I'm good.
But we will miss you.
Yes, ma'am.
And want the best for you, and may God continue blessing you.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Chairman,
Dr. Fitch,
Dr.
hold on a second. Let me give you a little boost.
Turn her around so everybody can see.
Turn me around. Dr. Mills, I met you when you came to the system and you handled all of the data.
Yes, ma'am.
You presented information so that it was well understood. You made it seem less of a chore. But one of the things that I most appreciated at that beginning point when you came to us was as we did redistricting the first time and every subsequent time, you all always presented those maps that had nothing but lines and never had a street name.
Names.
I always went to you and said, well, what street is that? We had some board members that could look at the map and say, well, that's such and such a street, and that's Raleigh Road, and that's Nash Street. I can't tell one line from the next. And so I always said, make the map bigger and put some street names on it. You did that, you accommodated, I appreciated it.
Yes, ma'am.
You left us and went to East Carolina. You became my colleague while I was still there on faculty. And then you left and went to Craven County.
Yes, ma'am.
But I was most thrilled when the opportunity arose and we invited you to come back to Wilson County Schools, this time not as assistant superintendent, but as our superintendent. A lot of the things that I would have said have already been said by my colleagues on the board. You did bring us back from a mighty long way. We had been at the top of the game, and then when the instruments changed in order to, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. When the instruments changed and we had to be redone, you made it such that, though we were low performing, you brought us back from the abyss, and I thank you. They are so right. You developed a sense of culture, a sense of family, a sense of pride again in the Wilson County schools. You did everything with purpose, with a sense of family, because you made everybody feel as though we were all one family. And as Mrs. Powell has said, with a sense of humor. Your humor sometimes was dry wit, but it was always appreciated. I don't agree with Mrs. Powell when she says, come back, we can give you the wealth that you want, we can't do that. Unfortunately, we have limited dollars, but if we could, we certainly would.
Yes, ma'am.
As always, you would tell the people as they retired, come on back to Wilson County Schools and give us your time. I, like Mrs. Powell, we welcome you back at any time,
Yes, ma'am.
at any point, to do and contribute to this system as you have done. I don't know if you're gonna help Mr. Boykin as he continues to cook, if he continues to cook. But you did learn a new skill.
Yes,
You
I
learned how
did.
to cook that pig. You learned how to put that meat on the grill and stay up half the night and fix it to the pleasure of our employees as they were served lunch. I could go on and on, but I cannot do that because it takes away from the meeting. But please know, you are well loved, you will be well missed, and we wish you all of the best in your retirement years. And again, feel free to come back and work with us at any point in time. Wish you Godspeed.
Thank you, Dr. Fitch.
Mr.
Chair.
Mr. Batts.
I wanted to thank Dr. Mills. Part of the reason why I'm on the board was because of Dr. Mills. I saw where the schools were going, and he was moving everything in a positive direction, and I said, I want to be a part of that. And I just felt like that he's done a lot for the students, the staff, the administration, and the people of this community in this county, and we are very, very grateful for that. I don't know how you deal with the stress. I really don't. I guess that's why you laugh a lot. You do so well with it a lot of
Have a lot
times.
of help.
And a lot of help. A really good administration, great staff, I'm telling you. And we're very, very fortunate. And Wilson County schools are better today because of him and because of the staff. And wish you lots of happiness and rest.
Yeah.
And I look forward to see what's ahead for you. I really do. I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Kyle.
I didn't prepare an entire eulogy,
I appreciate that.
but I just want to say thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
We'll keep it short.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Be
sir.
loved.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, y'all, we're gonna proceed with the meeting.
Let's do the meeting. Please.
Okay. So, at this point on the agenda, we are at public input, but we do not have anybody signed up for public comment. So, we're gonna skip right over that, and we're gonna go to Administrative Services Committee report with Mr. Breen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have information on 2 agreements. I'm very pleased because these agreements will cost us nothing. The first is with the University of North Carolina Public Media, or PBS. It's for a 5-year lease for use of their tower to install the bus radio antenna. The bus radio antenna is currently situated on top of this building, but due to some construction that's occurring in the area, we've had some interference. This utilization of PBS's tower will hopefully allow us to communicate with our buses more directly and interference-free. The second entity with which we are entering into an agreement is Builder Services of North Carolina. We've talked a great deal about Springfield over the last couple of meetings and a couple times this meeting. Builder Services was the company that
Yes.
actually called us after Springfield was devastated
Trying
by
to
the
find his
tornado.
number.
Yeah, Dr. Mills was looking through his Rolodex. I don't know who keeps a Rolodex in 2025, but was thumbing through his Rolodex. They called him at 3 o'clock in the morning. But these are the people you want in your corner. These are the people that are going to be in our corner. And this is a agreement for Builder Services to develop an emergency response plan for all Wilson County schools facilities. And they will, in exchange, provide emergency response to Wilson County schools. And this doesn't mean emergency response the way the media wants us to think of emergency response. Think catastrophes as a result of substantial structural damage or weather-related events and things of that nature. But that contract, like I said, is in the amount of $0. The next thing we received was our 2024-2025 audit report. It is 73 pages of fun. It is a draft because we're still waiting on the memorandums and supplements from a couple of federal agencies in regards to federal spending. That was delayed as a result of the discord that might be still occurring in Washington. But as it pertains to us, I'm not going to read you all 73 pages. It boils down to one paragraph. And that is, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material aspects the respective financial position of the governmental activities, the business type activities, and each major fund of the Wilson County Board of Education as of June 30th, 2025, and the respective changes in financial position and where applicable cash flows thereof, and the respective budgetary comparison for the general, state, public, school, federal grants, and other special revenue funds for the year then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. And I am told that is accounting for we done good. We came back with a clean audit. All the money is where it's supposed to be. We are in good financial health. Thank you to Ms. Collins and everybody in the finance department for assisting Anderson, Smith, and White with this audit and for making sure that for at least every year that I've been here, we have come back with a clean audit. And that ends the Administrative Services Committee report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Breen. Next on the, yes, ma'am.
Dr. Fitch, did I understand in committee that this is the draft and that once all of those things are finalized, we will do a final, have the final audit, and that is what we will take action on?
I don't think that the audit itself, I confirmed after the meeting broke The audit does not require any kind of action on our part. We will receive a final audit. It'll come in that big, beautiful, blue-bound format that we are used to. But they do not anticipate any substantive changes to what is included in the audit, in the draft audit report, in the final draft version.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Breen. Next on the agenda, we have our Instructional Services Committee with Mrs. Boyette.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first items that we have are information only, and they are contracts, which I am unable to put my hands on right now. So if one of my neighbors has them, thank you. Family. That's fine. All right.
Neighbor's kid.
Okay, the first one with Follett Software LLC. This is our library management software, and it was in the amount of $54,212.68. The second was Soft Choice Corporation for the renewal of our Microsoft licenses in the amount of $71,807.27. Now moving on to our action items. This afternoon, administration presented to us a proposal that for the coming school year, that Avid be offered only at Bedingfield High School. The reasons were both financial and because of the cost at all three schools, the decrease in enrollment at some schools, and the burden that the requirement that we keep those classes at a minimal number was placing on some of our other core classes. So there are no changes to the AP Capstone program, which will remain at Hunt, and the IB program, which will remain at Fike. The addition will be the AVID program will be offered only at Bedingfield. Those that are currently in the program and wish to transfer to Bedingfield could fill out a reassignment request, and those that remain at their home schools we will make sure that they all get the services with their college applications and things. Did I add everything, Ms. May? Okay, thank you. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move that we adopt the recommendations for the AVID program as proposed by administration.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Ms. Boyette and seconded by Ms. Powell that we adopt the recommendations from administration on the AVID program. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote, yea or nay. Mr. Kyle? Yay.
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 Myself, yay. Mr. Breen?
No.
Nay? All right. Dr. Fitch? You're on mute.
I'm sorry, aye or yay?
Okay. Mr. Batts?
Yay.
All right, so motion carries 6-1 with Mr. Breen as nay.
The next item up for action is exciting for us. It is a proposal that Ms. May explained to have a teaching as a career cohort. We're going to start that at WECA. There's already been some preliminary information sent out and interest, and this looks like a go as long as we approve it tonight, but another opportunity for us to grow our own teachers. So on behalf of Instructional Services Committee, I move that we give permission for teaching as a career cohort at the WECA, Wilson Early College Academy, beginning in the coming school year.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell, Dr. Fitch, and Mr. Batts, that we approve the teaching as a career cohort at WECA for the upcoming school year. Is there any discussion? All right, please cast your vote for yea or nay. Mr. Kyle,
Yay.
Ms. Powell,
Yay.
Ms. Boyette,
Yay.
myself, yea. Mr. Breen,
Yay.
Dr. Fitch,
Yay.
Mr. Batts.
Yay.
All right, motion carries unanimously.
Okay, moving right along, we have our restart annual report on the two schools, Barnes and Hearn. We're very pleased that both schools met their flexibility outcomes this previous school year, and they have exited continual low-performing status this year. Both have to complete the reauthorization progress every year, but Hearn is eligible for reduced reporting. So we were presented with their structure and request for the restart flexibility that they are requesting for the coming school year, and on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move that we accept the restart annual report for Barnes and Hearn.
Second.
Second.
All right, so the motion has been made by Ms. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell and Dr. Fitch, that we accept the restart annual report for Barnes and Hearn. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote for yea or nay. Mr. Kyle,
Yay.
Ms. Powell,
Yay.
Ms. Boyette,
Yay.
Mr. Boykin, yea. Mr. Breen,
Yay.
Dr. Fitch,
Yay.
Mr. Batts. All right, motion carries unanimously. Ms. Boyette.
Okay, the next item concerns our daycares. Our daycare centers are offered at Hunt and Bedingfield. I am on the right thing, I saw some eyes, okay. Our daycare updates, the administration is requesting or recommending, and
Way to keep it in-house. Don't let
I
on.
saw some eyes rolling, you know, and okay, back to seriousness here. The administration is requesting that we increase the daycare rates at Benningfield and Hunt from $125 to $175 a week. This doesn't begin until August of 2026. Now, in their defense, let me explain that we don't seek to make money from the daycare centers, but we do need to break even, and we are currently not doing that. So this increase would, should, we hope, make that possible. Some things to understand that make it a little easier to take. In most daycares, you are required to pay for holidays and during the summer months, even if your children don't attend, to hold your space. That is not required at the Hunt and the Benningfield daycare. It does serve our school personnel, but it's also open to any of the public. There is currently a waiting list for the program, and so things are going well. We just aren't making any money, and we need to break even. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move that we approve the daycare updates of changing the rates from $125 a week to $175 a week, beginning August of 2026.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell and Mr. Batts, that we approve the daycare updates, increasing our weekly fees from $125 to $175, beginning in August of 2026. Please cast your vote for yea or nay. Mr. Kyle,
Yay.
Ms. Powell,
Yay.
Mrs. Boyette,
Yay.
myself, yea. Mr. Breen,
Yay.
Dr. Fitch,
Yay.
Mr. Batts.
Yay.
Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Boyette.
The last items are revised policy. All are on second reading. We went over these in the committee meetings this afternoon. Revised policy 3210, parental inspection and well, let me not read all of them until I make the motion. There were only some grammatical or some small changes that were requested at the last meeting, and these would change, and if we approve policy, revised policy 3460, graduation requirements, we would also repeal the administrative regulation 3460 F2, request for early graduation, because it's not necessary. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move that we approve second reading revised policy 3210, parental inspection of and objection to educational resources, revised policy 3460, graduation requirements, and upon approving that, to repeal Administrative Regulation 3460 F2, request for early graduation. Revised Policy 4120, domicile or residence requirements. Revised Policy 7900, resignation. And I think that does it.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. So it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Dr. Fitch and Ms. Powell, that we approve revised policy 3210, parental inspection of and objection to educational resources. Revised policy 3460, graduation requirements, with the repeal of 3460-F2, request of early graduation. Revised policy 4120, docile and residence requirement. And revised policy 7900, resignation. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote for yea or nay. Mr. Kyle?
Yay.
Ms. Powell?
Yay.
Mrs. Boyette?
Yay.
Myself, yay. Mr. Breen?
Yeah.
Dr. Fitch?
Yay.
Mr. Batts?
Yay.
All right, motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Ms. Boyette. Mrs. Powell?
I move that the Wilson County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and 6, and 115C-319 through 321, to consider confidential student matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402, and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20, United States Code 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Powell and seconded by Mrs. Boyette that the Wilkes County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and 6, and 115C-319 through 321, to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 USC 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote Yea or nay, Mr. Kyle?
Yay.
Ms. Powell?
Yay.
Mrs. Boyette?
Yay.
Myself, yay. Mr. Breen?
Yay.
Dr. Fitch?
Yay.
Mr. Batts? All right, motion carries unanimously. We are moving into closed session.
It's hard to say yay and not sound excited.
Sounded like a cheerleading squad.